It's a great day to be alive, so let's celebrate creativity in the arts. My name is Chioma Okpara. Welcome to Art and Leisure. The Lagos International Trade Fair has been on for 34 years. It is a great forum for trade and business promotion in the country and indeed Africa. This year's edition promises to be a bumper package. The arts community is coming into it. What am I talking about? Let's get details from this report. The Lagos Book and Arts Festival takes place every year. Now the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry is inviting the Lagos arts community to be a part of this year's Lagos International Trade Fair.
While our own exhibition was ongoing, the creative art people always organize their own exhibition. Though their own used to be 7 days, while ours is 10 days. So we now said, why don't we work together?
That is one industry that has been neglected. So we are now creating a whole new fair. We call it Eko Akete. That is the Lagos Creative Industry Fair, running simultaneously with Lagos International Trade Fair at the Freedom Park.
The Lagos Creative Industry Fair, also known as Eko Akete, will be a celebration of traditional and contemporary art, literary works, fashion, music, and movies. Eko Akete will expose the business side of the Nigerian creative industry.
It's going to be quite enhancing for the economy, because what we are providing for investors now is like a one-stop center. You are coming into a city within 10 days, and you can meet the whole of Nigeria, and you can meet the various sectors. We are trying to expose the Nigerian economy beyond oil.
Eko Akete will take place at Freedom Park, while other activities will take place in other venues.
Muson Center, we are going to have business-to-business meetings, discussions, seminars. That's what we are going to have there. While the general exhibition is going to take place at the TBS.
Is the art community happy about this partnership?
Remember, when we're talking about the creative industry, we say it's show business. It's a combination of show and business. They know that they have a fan base which they can sell their products to, but they don't really fully know how fundamentally revolutionary it can be to respect and understand what the creative industry means to an economy. Because if we look at America and look at the developing countries, side by side with business, is the creative industry. In fact, I might even say that you don't see so much about the politics and everything. Yes, we know who's the president, who is this, that, and the other. But how many people really take much deep notice of what the workings of government is, workings of governments are? But they do know all the things that are going on in the fashion industry, in the music industry, in the movie industry. These are the people who set the pace, actually, who dictate the direction, the cultural and the artistic direction in which the country is going. And by default, they dictate the growth of the economy.
Eko Akete is a platform for the ever-growing creative industry to meet with key decision and policy makers, regulatory agencies, media content buyers, investors, and a rare opportunity for partnership using the best global practice.
The Chinese are here, the Japanese are in. We saw the man from Pakistan here too. The Indians are here always. And then the corporate exhibition actually has attracted a lot of people from Europe. Because actually they've been the one that have been clamoring. They've clamored for something that is outside that carnival-like. Exactly, and that is what we are giving them.
There are rules and regulations.
Once the trade fair is on, you are only allowed to move your goods in the night. And basically because of the traffic rule on Lagos Island, one, and also the ease of movement within the trade fair ground in the day. Because if you bring in a truck, one of the biggest problems we've had is bringing in trucks want to offload goods in the day within that small Tafawa Balewa square.
The traffic situation won't be bad.
You know, we used to have it at Lagos International Trade Fair Complex, a purpose-built complex, Badagry Express, we brought it down to TBS. When we were bringing it down, people were saying were afraid there will be traffic, that place will be a no-go area during the 10 days period. But with the kind of arrangement we put in place with the traffic officials, LASMA, FRSC, and our own private security agency, I believe the experience has shown that we can manage it, and we've been managing it successfully. There hasn't been anything special we are doing. We are not having everybody at the same point at the same time. We are having people at 3 different locations.
There won't be power outage throughout the 10 days.
We are looking at alternatives. So at every point in time, to provide power, we have not less than 3 different sources. So at the end of the day, we are going to have a flawless fair as far as power is concerned.
The Lagos International Trade Fair will take place from Friday the 6th to Sunday the 15th of November.
I want to assure Lagosians that what we are bringing to their doorstep is international business people. What we are bringing to their doorstep is opportunity to see what is going on in the international community now in terms of doing business. And I want to assure Lagosians that what we are bringing to them is opportunity for them to come and share experience, ideas at our seminars that will be taking place during the fair. I want to assure Lagosians that during the 10 days that the fair will last, that is between 6th November and 15th November 2015, they are going to have a lot of visitors in Lagos Island, and they will be doing nothing. They will be patronizing their businesses. They are going to make business. They are going to sell during the period.
Welcome back. With the assurance that the traffic situation won't be bad, I don't think you have a reason not to visit or fully participate. Remember that it's a 10-day event. All right, let's show you some of the things we're enjoying at this year's Eko Akete. Stick around. These are poets, upcoming and accomplished ones. This meeting gave them the opportunity to recite what they've written.
I sense a stranger, a victim of life, seizers of souls, collectors of debt, a compulsory visitor to all, a member of temptors. Has a soul been captured? Has a bird flew? Say something. What did he say? Is he in? Say something.
I rise to serve my father's land, to serve the land my father's had. But wait, who said this is my father's land? Who said my father's ever had a land? Invincible shackles bounding us to borders, severing our ties as brothers. Things like, I'm an American man, I own a red passport. Or I'm a British, I like my coffee creamed. Or I'm a Nigerian, I'm a Ghanaian, I'm an American, I'm a Russian, I'm a German. Restrictions sounded only in the tune of our voice and painted only in the tone of our skin. Forgetting before any of that ever mattered. We all were once just humans.
I'll stand by the bloody gate of Chibok and wait for this change to bring back our girls in a white and green truck. I'll read in between the headlines to know if our only oil is now doing fine. I'll stand in the middle of our night market and watch if the change will be able to lift up our dark blanket. I pray this change will change its name. I pray this change will bring back our fame.
Change, we know is unavoidable but could be postponed as long as possible. Everyone wants change, yet changing their thinking is not preferable. Not in pulses, not in states, the fleecy clouds will turn to rain, the rain to dew, then cloud again. Yesterday we clamored for change, now the change is come. The mountains are settled on the river and graciously arranged that we make more green at the greens, adding more beauty to the leaves. Change we know is unavoidable but could be postponed as long as possible. Everyone wants change, yet changing their thinking is not preferable.
Some focused on love.
I'm in love with a guy that my heart beats for. And yet I think he doesn't feel the same. Because I keep staring at my window pane, waiting for him to come and take away my pain. Thinking about him has made me pale. I am not exaggerating, look at my vein. This is a symptom. I am lovesick.
You told me to listen to my heart, but it wasn't speaking. You told me to wait, but soon I got impatient.
He told me to feel, but I didn't know how to feel beyond my body. He told me to see through it, but it wasn't made of glass. He told me to read between the lines, but there was nothing there. He told me to be careful. But does it mean I was careless? He told me to stop being so playful and be serious. Does it mean I was still playful and inserious? He told me I was blind, but still I could see. He told me we don't have time to spare, but who are we giving our time to?
The first time I met love was dark in complexion. It always reminded me of Africa. My roots, deeply rooted in the falsified smile, caused by the radiation of the sun that never ceases to kiss my ebony skin. African love. A playlet written for queens and bees. These bees will rape you and tell you queens just how much love is being endured. So hang in there, no matter how much it hurts. Your feet will one day plead to heal, and even when your heart is broken by the wind, love will definitely find you. And don't ask me when or where, because I don't possibly know, but I know love like I know the color of my skin. Love is fair, love is soft, love is something unusual. Love can be anything you want it to be, but not a jumpsuit or your pant trouser that looks too heavy to wear. African love. Believe me, I have tried.
Breathing fine doesn't mean you're healthy. So let's listen to the sound of the sage's mind, not the voice of a broken dog. Killing your brother's home is not life. Killing your brother's life is not hope.
Music is an all-time source of inspiration to many.
Music, it's life. And life is music. Music makes you lose it. If you're stressed, it will reduce it. Music is perpetual. Not like tradition that carries out rituals, because music is spiritual, habitual, effectual, the food for intellectuals.
They were special appearances.
I seek a woman, a real woman, not a walking shadow, a life-size cardboard cutout, or a rag doll with healthy-looking florid cheeks, whose use is kept with chemicals and spices.
I too sat in primary 4 blue, learning the names of past leaders and how cool and cool gave us leaders we couldn't give ourselves. So the gentlemen of the press, not so gently, wrote their way into prison bars and public lashings. Heroes bleeding more than ink. Well, Nigeria didn't need heroes. Didn't want them, couldn't fight for them, couldn't feed them. Journalists fighting a war that will be credited in history classrooms and nowhere else. But I was a child in prep school. And Mrs. Eze didn't know I would one day count bodies. She was teaching me to count oranges, mangoes, boxes, balls. Now imagine my surprise when bodies became fruits.
But this change should be our whole songs, composed from the melodies of our wounded souls. This change should remember to belong to everyone and to nobody. This change should be this call of Lumumba and selflessness. This change should be this call of Mandela and selflessness. This change should be this call of Gandhi and love.
Let me write this poem for life. For a range of reasons that make some sweet, allow me leave a melody to mold. For I know now why flowers bloom.
We are colored the same. But I wonder if those who are Caucasians have perhaps 4 hands and 4 feet. Perhaps they've written more books than we've done, since we know how to read and write. They say that English is a phonics, and they tell you there is one called estuary. But I ask a question. Language of expression is domiciled where people occupy, perhaps their geographical region, or things you could call their geographical location.
You again. I thought I lost you when a cut was made in the communication line. I feel at a loss that a good friend was gone, but alas, here you are again, building the bridge of friendship that blood could not have built, and strengthening a bond that nothing else could sever.
Sometimes you go on a date and feel you're shortchanged. Sometimes you're part and parcel of the deal that sold you out like an infant on its naming day. Sometimes you look not for ways to build yourself, patch yourself up a little, but in how many ways you can break yourself up to escape. Isn't this times that remind us we're humans after all, and that we're wild with the mechanism of self-destruct?
AJ House of Poetry, with its byline of being the voice of the voiceless, provides the kind of platform for these highly gifted people to express themselves. The monthly event encourages originality.
I know how it feels like for a continent to be betrayed by its intestines. I know how it feels like for part of a whole to create a phobia and deny its skin. I know how it feels like, because I'm an African, living under the shelter of undefined confusion and hatred from a South that has suffered a massacre in Soweto, hatred from a South that carries the same skin as mine. I thought we were a different part of a body, but South created a phobia and fetched us the meaning of genocide. I know how it feels like.
This 5th edition was in celebration of Efe Paul, an accomplished poet.
When the revolution spoke, blind minds open, you can't stop the word being spoken. When the revolution spoke.
Efe Paul can best be described as a revolutionary poet.
You see, justice has been kidnapped in my country and no one's willing to pay her ransom. She was absent at the tribunal when the verdict was given, so the Marudas were declared winners, even though we know the votes were phantom. Hope is a Nigerian, I know because I've met her. Last week she looked at me through the eyes of a widow whose husband died on the pension line. Her only son was stowaway in a North African cell. Europe on his mind, yet she forges on. This ain't just a rhyme, I tell you, hope is a Nigerian.
Poetry is educative, inspiring, and entertaining. Nice to have you back. Hope you enjoyed that. Just a reminder, you're watching Art and Leisure, a program that tells you about the goings on in the arts, culture, and leisure worlds. Earlier on, we mentioned the Freedom Park. If you don't know the story behind it, watch this.
The land is 1 hectare. In the colonial era, this was where prisoners were kept. It was called Her Majesty's Prison, Broad Street. The prison was built during the reign of Queen Victoria.
This was the first colonial prison in Nigeria. It was established originally in 1872. This was 11 years after the British colonized Lagos, when they forced Tosumo to sign the Treaty of Lagos. You can imagine that when you just colonize a group of people, there will be a lot of agitation. So the prison was a tool to help suppress that agitation.
Unhappy natives destroyed it eventually.
The residents, or should I say natives in those days, kept throwing fire into it and setting it ablaze. They now imported bricks in 1885 and rebuilt it.
Legend has it that the colonial masters spent £16,000 to import bricks from England for its rebuilding, but spent £700 on education that same year. Heroes like Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, Chief Obafemi Awolowo, Pa Anthony Enahoro, Sir Ahmadu Bello, the Sultan of Sokoto, and many others served as prisoners here because of their agitation for an independent Nigeria. The late icons fought and won, and so subjugation and suppression came to an end. The prison ground was earmarked for something else.
In the 70s, already the government had allocated the site to different developers. They had broken this place into four lots. They pulled down all the buildings and divided into 4 lots and allocated to different developers. But my belief is that because of coup after coup, subsequent coups, all the allocations were revoked.
In 1999, a group of architects under the name Creative Intelligence Agency decided to embark on projects that would change the landscape.
We all decided to look at different ideas for Lagos. How can we come up with millennium ideas to improve Lagos? So different firms took on different aspects of urban regeneration, how to repair the environment in Lagos. Some took transportation interchanges, look at the transport situation, how do you take care of the traffic congestion. So they mapped out new routes, new systems of one-ways and everything. So there's a lot of research that went into it. I went to create a park because I felt Lagos was too congested and needed some breathing space.
Freedom Park was just an idea in 1999. 10 years later, it became a reality.
I happened to be talking to somebody who I mentioned the idea to, and she thought, oh, that's a fantastic idea. Do you still have the drawings? Do you still have the synopsis? I said, yes, I think I could dig it up. I submitted it to her, and she forwarded it to the new governor. And 2 weeks later, I was presenting the old drawings and modernized a bit, updated a bit to him. And a month after that, I was meeting Executive Council of Lagos, the EXCO, who approved the project.
Theo Lawson designed and built Freedom Park. He had the onerous task of turning a once-upon prison into an art center.
You can imagine what we found here: abandoned cranes, abandoned equipment, building construction equipment, heavy construction equipment have been abandoned for so many years.
So there was no structure, there was nothing?
They pulled down everything, but was just bush, and it had been a refuse dump for 30 years. The idea was to make an imprint of the old prison without rebuilding everything, but just tell the story of what was here before. This was a female prison cell. This area, this is where the female prisoners were. You can see that wall there. There's a broken wall there, which goes right across here, and there's another wall. You can see the wall in the pond there. See the wall in the water. Yeah, that was the compound. So this area here was that female compound. There's another compound. Then there's a kitchen compound.
This used to be the female cell in the prison, but it's now the amphitheater. Film screening, short dramas. Basically, that's what happens here. The prison had 3 blocks of cells. This is block A, the block B, it's on the other side, and block C. And the block A had 52 cells. And this is the 52 cells. And this shows the exact size of what the prison cell used to look like.
This for one person?
Well designed for one person. Right now it's basically used for exhibitions. Like an exhibition booth. Then there's Wi-Fi within the premises for people that just want a very relaxing atmosphere. They want to read or they want to do stuff on their system. So it's free. They just come in after the regular gate fee to come into the park. They get a booth, get a chair, and they can read. Here used to be the kitchen. This building here used to be the kitchen of the prison, but now it's the food vendors, our restaurants, it's our bar. You see, we have like 5 different outlets here. What we try to do is we try to get different kinds of food so that you have varieties. We have the Chinese restaurant, Chinese restaurant is right there, the vegetarian restaurant, then the Grubs. Grubs does the chicken and chips, pizza, and all of that. Then the native kitchen.
What do you do here?
This is the hospitality area. It used to be the hospital. If you see the red mark, the red line on the floor, yes, here, that goes round. That was where the building of the hospital of the prison used to be, the very location. So, but now it's not the hospitality area. We do entertainment, live band, short dramas for our patrons. If you look around, you see different sculptures donated by engineer Shilon.
Mrs. Shilon.
Yeah, Mrs. Shilon, yes. Just to complement the artistic part of the park. The same building is Kogi's Galleries, okay. Kogi's Harvest.
It's named after Professor Wole Soyinka?
Yes, please.
Okay. Is there any story around this place?
No particular story around it. It was part of the warden's quarters. The stage used to be the gallows, and behind it used to be the cells for the condemned prisoners. All the condemned prisoners are always behind the cell. Then when it's time for their execution, they bring them on to the spot and hang them. And this is also supposed to be the standing point. They just remove the base of whatever they are standing on. So this just symbolizes that. It's now the stage. It's no more the gallows. We don't kill here anymore. We celebrate people. We celebrated a lot of the international, local artists on the stage. We talked about having 3 blocks of cells in the premises when it was a prison. The skeletal structure was a block B,
And this was seen here is a block C of the prison then. If you look at the demarcations of the iron bars, you still see that it's the actual size of what we saw in block A. So it's still a replica of what, it's just, he didn't just want to build structures all over the place, but he wants to give an idea of what was where at the time. The museum used to be the records office, where when they bring the prisoners into the prison, to the premises, that's where they get their details, give them their uniform, and throw them into the cell. But now it's a museum. The idea was, when excavating, was to get stuff from the prison. The architect thought he was going to find stuff of the prison when they were constructing, but unfortunately they didn't find anything.
Freedom Park was commissioned in October 2010, but it wasn't open to the public until the following year. 2011 was for test run, and a gate fee of 200 naira was introduced in 2012. Lagos State government financed this project, but it's being managed by a private firm.
Essentially, we're trying to promote the arts. We want it to be a place of self-expression, artistic expression.
Guided excursions are offered by the management. Freedom Park offers rich history and relaxation. Welcome back. That has been our offering on art and leisure for this week. I hope we give you value for your time. We don't get tired of telling you that you have an opportunity to watch our past editions online. Just visit www.artandleisure.com.ng. When you're done watching a particular episode, just go to the comment button, click on it, and leave a comment. Thank you in advance. My name is Chioma Okpara. Please be here same time next week, because we're coming with something good. Until then, love yourself, love Nigeria.